Everything is your fault. If you're not where you want to be, if you're not doing what you want to do, if you don't have the things that you want to have, it is your fault. And today we're going to share ways that you can change your mind to get what you want to get. I'm Dr. J.
I'm Dr. C.
And welcome to A Two Doc Minds.
Welcome to A Two Doc Minds, and our topic today is ways you can shift your mind to being more disciplined.
Because everything that's happening to you is your fault.
Woo. This is all about accountability, Dr. J.
Yeah. But before we get started, we want you to
like,
comment,
and subscribe.
and hit that notification bell because we want you to get this content when it comes fresh off of YouTube.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about, again, what is going to motivate you to get more disciplined. Everything is your fault. That's the topic.
Absolutely.
It means no one else's fault. It's not your mom's fault. It's not your father's fault. It's not your spouse. It's not your brother or sister. It's
You. You control your own destiny. If you don't like, your job, change it. If you don't like your life, change it.
Yeah.
If you don't like your significant other, change it.
Right.
If you don't like your car, change it. If you don't like your dog, change it. If you don't like your shoes, change it. If you don't like this channel,
don't change it.
Don't change it.
No. We don't want to go that far. But everything is your fault. Really, we're talking about the essential idea that you have the power to change every aspect of your life if you pay attention and you really apply yourself. You can make significant changes in your life. And if you don't, like Dr. said, don't like your life, or you don't like your money or your bank account, if you don't like your car, this is the time to make some essential changes and shifts in your discipline and how you apply yourself to every activity you do from a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I mean, I just had a friend of mine tell me, man, I'm tired of being broke. Right? I'm tired, of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yeah. Right? And when he had that conversation with me, he was getting out of a 2022 Lexus. Right?
You're going to say something else.
I like, well, you
have a new car.
You got a $1,200 car payment. You could have had some money saved if you would have got a bus pass instead of a car payment.
Absolutely.
So it was their fault.
Okay.
Because, again, we always talk about needs versus want.
Right.
He wanted a new car, but didn't need it. So if he would have stayed with what he needed, stayed with the old car, paid off everything instead of getting a new car with a high note, then wouldn't have been broke. All they had to do was save that money.
Yeah. So
things can happen for you immediately if you just look at your perspective and change it. And sometimes, hey, you're squeezing a turnip. There's not a lot of juice.
Right.
Well, sometimes you got to double up a job, triple up.
Right. But what you're speaking of, Dr. J, is the central topic is discipline. It would take, in your example, discipline not to buy that car and not to want the more fancier things. It's going to take discipline to say, I'm not going to get this car at this moment. I'm going to wait a year or even maybe 2 years to actually save the money and afford that car. That's discipline. Yeah. Not a lot of people can look at that and say, I have the patience or the time to wait and afford this and save up for it or get another job, which takes even more discipline to take on a second job to afford the things that I can't afford at this time.
It was interesting. I was assessing my commute back and forth to work. So I was driving 30 minutes to work and then 30 minutes back. And every day I may drop off and do something, right? Go to the grocery store, maybe go to the gym, pick up some errands or drop the kids off at some type of event. Right. So I found myself on average, I was in my car hour and a half a day. So I had to ask myself, why in the world do I need a 60, 70, 80 or new car or a fancy car to drive it only maybe 15% of my day?
Right. Cost of a house for most cars.
Correct. And so I just understood, just me personally, that I want to make better decisions so I can have what I want to have. But it took a lot of discipline, like
Discipline is the key.
you said. Absolutely.
But in the moment, sometimes, especially when you're young, you want that fast car, the most fanciest engine, the best color. I mean, there is a thrill aspect to it. But to have control and discipline, it will take you so much further. It will.
Rent
You
a
got.
car.
I think that you rent a car every now and then is a great solution. I think prioritizing your future over the immediate satisfaction of having a new shiny car is a way to exhibit a great way of discipline.
So if this is you, it is your fault. Make the change. What
It's
else?
your fault.
Absolutely.
It's your fault. So some things you need to try to avoid having those, random spending sprees on fancy cars is seek feedback from positive influences in your life. This will help to encourage the discipline in your life.
Yeah, those and to that positive influence, or I would call a mentor. Find folks that are doing what you're doing.
Right.
Right. Getting the things that that you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to recreate a wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Just start doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They always said birds of a feather, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're around hawks, right?
Right.
You more than likely a hawk. If you're around pigeons, more than likely you're a pigeon.
You're a pigeon.
Right? If you're around a bald eagle,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably a bald eagle. I've never seen a group of eagles flying with pigeons.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you got to figure out what type of bird you want to be, and then start flying with them. Start doing what they do. Start mimicking what they're doing, and I guarantee you will end up being one.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Absolutely.
So the next thing is really related to what you just said. If birds of a feather flock together. So change your mindset. Adjust your mindset to be around the people that think like you, who are trying to aspire to have goals like you or achieve certain things in life like you.
Yeah.
Adjust your mindset so you can attract those type of people around you at all times.
And it helps you change your perspective. When I was working as an employee, I was around people that was head of departments, head of organizations. So I saw how they acted, and then I ended up moving to the head of those organizations, right? And managing thousands of people, billions of dollars, right?
Right.
And then when I got there, I started hanging around people that were more entrepreneurial.
Right.
That, was making even more than that, me, that had a lot of flexibility in their time. They were doing a lot of other things that I couldn't do as far as traveling, right? Because I was stuck to a desk. And I ended up hanging around them, and next thing you know, we ended up making a decision to join and open up our own business.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's the people around you is going to inspire you and push you out of your comfort zone so that you can reach your potential.
Yes, I mirrored myself I can see a lot of those experiences happening in my career. When I was an accountant, I hung around accountants. When I was in nonprofit administration, I hung around a lot of nonprofit professionals. But now we have ventured off into our own organization. I'm around a lot of like-minded people with strategic thoughts.
Think about that. Most of the people that we're around are business owners.
Entrepreneurs, people that are thinking like us. The only way that it changes is if you change and you accept that it's your fault that you're not changing.
And once you change, you got to know what your goals are. You got to define your goals. You have to write them down. Not what's your goal for the hour, not what your goal is for the day, but for the year, for the next 5 years, for the next decade. You just need to write that down so that you know if you're reaching them. You need to know if you need to make adjustments, but you just need to know that information. So set goals.
Now, set goals are very important, and I like the fact that you keep telling our listeners to write it down, because that gives you accountability. That gives you say, it's right in my face. I said I was going to do it, and then when you look back that next day, that next week at your list, and you say, oh, I didn't do it, that's accountability. And then you have a decision to make.
Is it your fault or somebody else's fault that you didn't meet your goals if you had the time, or you had to reprioritize some things? Now, it's things that happen in life that we can't control.
Yes.
And it pushes your thing off. We're not talking about that.
No.
We're talking about the things that you can control.
So let's get into a little quote here from Maggie Wool, and she's from Better Up, and she's a researcher, and she states that studies have found that people prefer shifting the blame from themselves to other people or situations, making it natural for us to avoid responsibility. It is a habit many of us have formed. What do you think about that, Dr. J?
I mean, I've seen it so much, and Maggie is so right.
Yes, she is.
You hear people, I'm in this because, my spouse told me to do this, right? Or I have this career because my parents made me do this, right? Mm-hmm. Or, I bought this car because I was forced to do it because of this job, right? Mm-hmm. Or whatever it is. Many people blame folks for the things that they control. In general, right? Of course, there's a lot of one-offs. But in general, you have control over your decisions.
It's
you
your
have to own it.
Yeah.
You have to be responsible for it. And stop blaming people for the things that you can't control, right?
And also in this quote, it talks about habit. And again, we go back to writing things down, setting goals, making sure that we're creating discipline and habit around discipline. Habits are very, very important in trying to create new ways of thinking and creating new opportunities for ourselves. If you have these habits that cater to you and your growth, this will help your success exponentially.
And just by doing those things, you're going to be better than most people. And we're not saying you want to be better, but you want to be the best you, right? So you're going to be the best you if you have habits. You are disciplined, you set goals, and you stop worrying about what other people are thinking about you and just do you, right? You're going to be a better you.
Just by default.
Absolutely.
So take accountability.
Change your life.
And change your life.
Yeah. And start today.
Yes.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Start right now because the journey starts right now.
There's no better time than today.
Right?
Right now.
So in the comment section, type right now in the comment section.
I like that. Yeah.
And when you're doing that, you also may want to like,
comment,
and subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we're going to always drop good content.
Absolutely.
And we want you to be the first one to get it.
We are a community of sharing knowledge and getting better and trying to provide and promote success in everyone's life. Thank you for watching our channel. I am Dr. C.
And I'm Dr. J. And thank you for watching
A Two Docs Mind.